How much did you pay Kendrick Perkins to say what he said today, Drapes?
Not at all. I'm sitting there in the hotel room watching it, and I'm like, my guy, sticking up for our boy Domantas Sabonis, and he wasn't paid to. He didn't. I didn't promise him anything. He did it on his own, and he backed it up on social media with a tweet here recently. And so, and I just texted him. Oh, you know what? He just texted me right now. As a matter of fact, Jay, call Kendrick Perkins right now. Jay, the producer.
I got you. I'm on it.
Call Kendrick Perkins right now. I'm going to text him and tell him Jay calling him right now.
Yeah, so long story short, and we have the audio here, but Jay can't, he's texting Kendrick. For those who didn't hear, Kendrick Perkins says that Domas is, here it is. Here's Kendrick Perkins, what he had to say about Domas today.
We could make a compelling argument for all of these guys when it comes down to Jokic, when it comes down to SGA. It could come down to Donovan Mitchell, Luka. Like, all these guys are going to put up historical numbers in today's game.
Yeah.
Hell, if we want to make a case, why are we not saying anything about Sabonis? Sabonis right now, hold on. If we're going based on numbers, Sabonis is leading the NBA in triple doubles. He's also leading the league in double doubles. The man is averaging 20, 13, and 8.
Briefly,
that is not just,
better case for Luka Doncic than for Sabonis. I mean, leading the league without Embiid in scoring, and then also giving you almost 9 and 10. That's a triple-double, and that's the reason why Jokic is the favorite.
I thought the triple-doubles meant something. Look, we could make a compelling...
So that's Kendrick Perkins today, meeting with some objection on the ESPN panel, Drapes.
Yeah, and this is the thing, man. And I applaud Perk for doing this, for Sacramento, the Kings, Domantas Sabonis. My problem, though, and I don't know, and the listener, you can't, if you got to go out there and see the video.
Yes.
Chiney Ogwumike, her reaction to when Perk mentioned Domantas Sabonis, it was like, we're talking MVP, like he didn't even belong in the conversation.
Right.
Where, if I'm correct on the NBA.com MVP tracker, Domantas Sabonis is top 7.
Yeah,
let's
bring him on.
Our guy.
Yeah,
let's bring him a guy. Kendrick Perkins joining us. Perk, I know you're super busy, man, doing all your work for ESPN and everything, but you touched the nerve, big fella. First of all, thank you so much for giving a shout out to our boy Domantas Sabonis. Reiterate what you said earlier for people at home.
First of all, good to hear from you, Drake. Second of all, fix your face. Because I know you probably thought your boy wouldn't go come on and come through. You know I'm coming to holler at my boy. That's first thing. That's the second thing. Look, what I'm saying is, okay, I have Jason Tatum as my front runner, okay, for us winning the MVP. It shouldn't be held against him because of the personnel that's surrounding him. If we're going to throw out these numbers that all these other players are doing, SGA, he scored 43. He scored 30 points 43 times. You see what Jokic is doing down there in Denver with triple doubles. Okay, that's cool. I'm not knocking any one of those guys. But if that's what we're going to base it on, then how about talking about Sabonis?
Mm-hmm.
Sabonis is leading the league in triple doubles. He's leading the league in double doubles. He's averaging 20, 13, and 8. So, and his team is winning. Like, they're what, 7 games or 6 games above 500? So in a tough Western Conference. So what is the conversation? And so my thing is, and this is why I said earlier today, is that we got to set some type of standard, right? A criteria. Our criteria is best player with good numbers on the best team with the winning record. Last year I voted for Giannis. I'm standing on business, and looks like it's going to be Jason Tatum for me. But that's okay. My thing is, why is Sabonis not mentioned? Or it's a problem when you do mention his name.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is, Perk. Perk, you know what it is. If he would have had a Knicks jersey on or a Lakers jersey on, there wouldn't be no conversation. You know that.
But why, though?
The disrespect for Sacramento. Because think about it, Perk. The dude wasn't even an all-star, big fella. He's putting up, legendary numbers we haven't seen since guys like Wilt and Oscar and Jokic. He's about to be top 10 all time in triple doubles, but yet he can't even be an all-star, Perk. Come on, man.
But let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this, and this is what we got to compare. And I'm not trying to bring Jokic into the conversation. We got to bring Jokic into the conversation. Okay, Jokic first MVP. What did Jokic average?
27.
He was up there, 27, 12, and 7.
Okay, but I mean, what's the difference with Sabonis? Okay, less points. I get it. He got a lot more weapons. He has the Aaron Fox. Jokic did it without Jamal Murray. But my point is saying is, if we're going to base it on numbers and the combination of wins, we got to put Sabonis in that conversation.
Yeah, Kendrick, thanks for coming on with us. Kevin Gleason here. I wanted to ask you, a lot of people can disagree with that or agree. Were you surprised, though, that when you mentioned it, that you had people on the panel who were laughing at the notion of Sabonis being considered for MVP?
It wasn't. It ain't the first time. It ain't the first time, but I'm here to tell the people in the audience what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Right? So they needed to hear this about Sabonis. Whether, I feel like their reaction to it was right or wrong, that's on them, and they got to deal with the Sacramento Kings fans, not me. You know what I'm saying? My point is that I'm here to educate the audience and shine light on this young man who's not getting the proper respect or just due that we supposed to be giving him. He got disrespected in the All-Star game, and now we talk about these numbers with MVPs, and here we are. And, it's not the first time, right? I just said a lot of things on the shows or whatever, and facial expressions look at me crazy. Then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, the apologies start coming in.
Hey, Perk, I want to ask you this, though, because we just had a conversation about culture and trying to develop it. We talked about heat culture, those goons down there in Dade County. I know about the Celtics culture, too, that you guys had. Who's in charge of building the culture? Is it on a player? Is it a coach? Is it a front office?
Where does it start?
Does it have to be one guy that starts it?
I think with the culture, you got to be a combination of both. Okay, it got to be the front office having the back of the head coach, so that the coach could go in and have the franchise guys, or the franchise guys or their superstars or stars, be able to have the respect from them to hold them accountable, because they know that, let me say this. The most important thing in the world when you talk about culture is accountability. And in today's game, we know how hard it is for coaches to hold players accountable, because if your star player, your superstar player don't like you, Giannis, you could actually be out with a 30-13 record halfway through the season. So if you got that support from the front office, that you could go in there and stand on business, and you see the likes of an Eric Spoelstra, who could demand a locker room, because Pat Riley he's not about to talk to your agent. He's not about to talk to you when it comes down to Eric Spoelstra. And so that culture is real. All of a sudden, players are like, damn, I got to buy into it. That's how a culture is established.
Big Perk, obviously, when you look at Sabonis' numbers, they jump off the page. That's what most of us see. But you, having played the game at the highest level, when you watch Domas, what impresses you the most about the way he's putting up those numbers?
But you know what? I always knew. I'm going to tell you a quick story. So I just retired, and I went down to Oklahoma City. And I was watching Sabonis at shoot-around when he was a rookie. And Troy Weaver came up to me and said, "Perk, this one right here, he's going to be special." And I said, "What you mean special?" He said, he's going to be mentioned as one of the best bigs in the game. So I'm like, all right, I know, y'all drafted him or whatever. That's the high praise. But here we are. Like, seriously, here we are. And he's a top 5 big in the game. You could go Giannis, you could go Jokic, you can go Embiid, you can go Anthony Davis, and Sabonis. And Sabonis has been actually kicking Anthony Davis' ass for a minute now. If you go and pull up the numbers and the records, but to me, it's this physicality. I already knew he could pass the ball, but the relentlessness of him on the glass is what gets me. He's not afraid. Like, he's gonna put that shoulder into your chest. He's trying to tomato chest you. He's trying to go up strong and snatch the screws out the rim. Like, that type of tenacity, like that force, and he cares. Like, he actually gives it that.
Perk, my last question, man. I know I'm sure you're doing more ESPN stuff tonight. I know they got you on TV tonight coming up with NBA Countdown. But I want to ask you about Kevin Garnett in Boston, because I maintain that when I look at my Sacramento Kings, I can't feel them on the floor. Like, I can feel Sabonis, how much he cares. You played with Kevin Garnett. We talk about culture. He helped with that culture too in Boston. Let's call it what it is. But how is he able to manage? Like, do teams need a player leader like that? Somebody that you can feel that holds the locker room accountable. That, when he walks in, y'all straightening up because he's there.
You see the Milwaukee Bucks, huh? Milwaukee Bucks were struggling, right? I got in. It was gonna take him time, right? Then all of a sudden, who did they trade for? Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly. And the first day he got there, the first game, we see him with a clipboard holding Brook Lopez accountable, right? And I tell this to so many people, and I say this all the time. Your emotional leader doesn't have to be your best player. As long as you have that one guy that's on your team that's going to lead, that's going to hold guys accountable, that's going to punch in the clock, and they respect him, and that guy's an extension of the head coach, and all of a sudden you got something. I've never named me one NBA champion, a team that won a championship without having an emotional leader. You can. You can. That voice in the locker room is invaluable. And I tell people this all the time. Austin Rivers, we had a little debate about it because he was like, "Man, KG was y'all leader." I was like, "No, he wasn't." He led by example on the floor with his tenacity and his game. James Posey was our emotional leader.
Wow.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting. Yeah. Big Perk, we appreciate your time very, very much. And, fans in Sacramento, we often feel slighted, disrespected. So I know you're just doing your job, but there's a lot of fans in Sacramento, a lot of Domas fans that really appreciate what you had to say today. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate them, and I just appreciate great basketball. You know what else I'm going to appreciate? When I get to Sacramento and I get to get the free food. That's all I need to appreciate. Just take me to the restaurant.
You ain't changed a bit, Perk. Hey, man. Hey, thanks for answering my text, big fella. That means a lot to me.
You already know, Drake.
All right, Big Perk. Thanks, Perk.
Thank you. And thank you.
Good stuff.
Thanks, Drapes, for lining that up. When we come back, Chris Marlowe,